YouTubes! This is my first video build blog, and this week I'm gonna talk about my Lamentation blades project. Lamentation blades are an accessory worn by Scandal Savage, who is a minor DC villain, and they look a bit like this. And being a minor DC villain, she gets a lot of different artists working on her, and there isn't really a consistent art design for the blades, which means every artist draws them differently, and sometimes they change within the comic. For me, that helps me a little bit because it gives me some artistic freedom to make changes. At the same time, it makes it very hard to figure out exactly which blades I'm trying to copy. The blade design themselves is ridiculous. Most of them, they just strap onto the wrist, and by strap, I mean there are no straps, it's just a solid block of quarter-inch, half-inch plate metal that they're made of, which would be impossible to take on and off. So that's a design challenge I had to overcome. And the blades jut out over the hand, so that if ever you tipped your hand back just a bit, you'd slice right through them. Now, a few of the designs have a plate on the back of the hand to protect your hand, but still, if you ever kind of just want to reach for something, there's blades in the way. Though I think they're supposed to slide back into the main arm piece by some sort of comic book magic. Anyway, about the project. I decided to make the blades out of aluminum because they're cosplay. They need to not only be safe, but look safe. When I'm making cosplay things, I try to make them to be no more dangerous than a pen. Now, whether or not somebody actually feels like they're more dangerous or not than a pen, that's their problem. So, this is what they look like. And on going up there, you should see the process to build them. I started by cutting out the blades from some aluminum bar stock, 3003 aluminum, which is the most generic aluminum that you can find, and cut that out on the bandsaw, ground them down a little bit, and then forged out the blade to get that gentle curve to it. The nice thing about aluminum is, to a certain degree, you can forge it cold the way blacksmiths work with hot steel, and you can get some pretty nice shapes just mashing it around that way. One of the downsides of aluminum, and why I hate it, is every time you look at it sideways, it scratches and scuffs. So getting a really clean polish on it and keeping it there is a massive pain. So I circumvented that by not giving it a clean polish. I've got a very wire brushed looking polish on it, which I hope will hide any scratches and scuffs you get from just wearing them. Also, the blades, although they might look sharp, I hope they look sharp, catching the light like that, they are extremely blunt. There's an 1/8 of an inch flat on the front, and the tips are squared off. So again, nobody's going to mistake these for actually being weapons. If they care to look closely, they are just costume pieces. Other nice thing about aluminum, it's light, and it's relatively soft. So when I was making the main body, I didn't have to anneal it at all. I could just raise these edges in to give that idea of thickness. Then I filled that gap with some foam to make it a bit comfortable, and slapped on some rollerblade clasps. Whoops, that's a bit too tight. Here, to tighten them up. Now, I tried them on to demonstrate, but they're for someone much smaller than me, so they don't fit. I can't even get my hand inside them. Arrgh, arrgh. Well, that was my first attempt. I'm going to try to do one of these every week. Thank you very much for watching, and come back next week. Comments below! And if you have suggestions for projects, I like new projects.